Janelle Lucino from Rose Pest Solutions is here with us with our team of all-stars, and we talked about it earlier in the program. So much, the trees are coming to life, the flowers are blooming, the bugs are blooming too. Right?
Oh, they're doing something. I don't know about blooming. Exploding out of the woodwork, more like.
You guys were talking a little bit about a great food source, and of course, chocolate-covered grasshoppers and crickets and all that, and mealworms, right? Sometimes not only birds and squirrels and stuff like the meal, or people eat that stuff too. But if you're not into eating them, and you don't look at a bug explosion in your own home sweet home as an extra meal opportunity. So what is it that's coming out now, and what are you hearing? Right?
Well, I mean, we've had so it's the last day of April, and you know how Google Photos will be like, on this day 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. Flowers were already blooming like 2 weeks ago this time. So everything is so delayed. So
and gloomy.
Yes. And so this is the perfect combination of weather starting to warm up. We've got rain happening, which is flooding out ant colonies. It's flooding out a lot of things that exist underground. And that's why people are starting to see tiny ants by their kitchen sink or around their toilet, or, we've got termites happening all over the city right now too. And that's something that a lot of people don't believe actually exists in the city of Chicago, because look at all this concrete around us. But
is it just misidentification of the termite, or are they sort of like under the radar?
I mean, they're very cryptic creatures because they live underground. They're subterranean. That's what that means. They live underground. And if we start to see termites pop out, that means that there's been a weather trigger that is giving them an indication that it's okay for them to go outdoors now and seek other locations for food sources and for more colony locations. They'll bud off and they'll send swarmers out, and these have wings. And a lot of times,
swarmers,
termite swarmers. A lot of times they'll look to most people like an ant with wings. But the difference is, and Joe and I were talking about this earlier, one of the big differences is termites have two body segments. And most termites, if you see them in your basement or coming out of mud tubes, they're going to look like maggots. They're like a creamy white color. Yeah. The swarmer termites are brown. They look just like ants. One of the biggest differences between a termite and an ant, too, is the wings. Termites do have two pairs of wings, just like ants, but termites' wings are equal in size, whereas ant wings, they have one set that's larger than the other. I know most listeners aren't going to be taking a magnifying glass out and looking at the ants around their house, but
you know what you said about the body. So an ant has three sections, and a termite has two.
Correct. Yep. An ant will have three distinct segments: the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. And their behaviors are slightly different too. But there are carpenter ants that will chew through wood and do just as much structural damage as a termite will. Termites actually eat wood. That's another difference between those two. But both are very real right now with this combination of weather that we've got going on.
Well, you mentioned people may not be aware or even agree that, hey, termites are here in this region. Is it one of those things, if you see one, that's really an indication that there's a lot more?
Yeah, and that applies with pretty much every pest that we've ever talked about on this show. If you've got all of a sudden a trail of ants behind your on your backsplash, behind your sink or whatever, that is such a small percentage of what that colony actually holds. There could be tens and hundreds of thousands of ants in a colony. And both termite and ant colonies bud and create satellite colony locations too. So if you've got a healthy colony,
so like a franchise opportunity.
If you've got a healthy colony underground on your property, there are chances of other colony locations popping up this time of year. So if you see one, don't just ignore it. Don't think that, I'm just going to go get a bait trap from, Home Depot or whatever. It's not going to work.